and digitalization is here is here to stay. The beauty again is that the market is the old world. How have we embraced the internet? How have we embraced access to the internet? How have we ensured that everybody, we have some countries that have said access to the internet is human right. Because access to the internet is also access to information. And without information, you are You are nowhere. So it is very key that must be developed. And on the side of it, where are the mentors, career guidance? When people are starting their business, who do they look up to? And that's why this issue of the war against corruption must be tackled. Our biggest challenge, if we don't tackle it, is that all the people that you see are successful by the fact that you can see their assets, you don't see their liabilities, but you see their assets. You are not so sure that actually they should be the ones. But guess what? The young person, because he's not being guided, he will look up to those people and now say, please, can you guide me? And what we just want to teach them, they'll teach them the same way they acquired their wealth. And we all know here in Nigeria that the proportion of what I call unearned income to earned income is quite high. Most people live more on the unearned income than the earned income. But when you live on unearned income, just like what happened last year, when those opportunities narrow down and you are forced to live on your real income, on what your skills can actually deliver, there is a serious adjustment. So things must be done. We're not saying corruption does not happen anywhere else. But in other places, when you are caught, you are punished so that others can see. So to me again, the jury is still is still out. It's one thing to name and shame. It's another thing to be sure that the right lessons are learned. Running right through, technology and education, therefore, must go hand in hand with entrepreneurship. Therefore, we must promote education and we must promote that particular environment. There must be career guidance and entrepreneurship, and we must promote that dialogue between education, between businesses and communities to close that particular gap. The vision must be very clear. What I also wanted to end up with is about three different countries. One is India, that today is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. All of a sudden, Indian companies are now going out in the Western world and are buying up local companies. And you ask yourself, years ago, if you ask about India, what comes to mind was a place where everything was bureaucratic. Everything it's as if red tape was everywhere. You cannot grow, you cannot be an entrepreneur. So what have they done? They saw the abundance of their own people in terms of the numbers, and they do They invested in science and technology. If you see the percentage which the government spends on science and technology, is quite significant. They've tried to ensure that they have centers of excellence. Their universities are still world-class. People are very pleased to take Indian graduates and employ. Therefore, to me, if you look at what has happened there, the investment was done years ago. They still have their problems. And I mentioned India because they have the same number of diversity that we have. They have the same type of large population. But they have not allowed that to becloud their investment in educating their people. Another one I'll talk about is Estonia. When you talk about Estonia, you see a country that came out of old Soviet Union. But they're telling you now, in Estonia, 18 minutes to start a company and 3 minutes to file a tax return. Internet access has been declared a human right. Their population is tech savvy. Annual return is being done online by 95% of their population, and it takes 5 minutes. But what did they do in under 3 years? A young government got into power, and what did they do also? They also said we shall leverage on technology. We cannot go through traditional ways. We shall invest in our people, and on the back of that, they have really made significant progress. I was going to talk about South Korea. It was also a country that invested in its people. If you go to South Korea, they'll tell you emphasis was training their youth. 98% of their population completed secondary school, and 63% with college education, and they now thrive in the global. So what has happened to South Korea again? They invested in education in the 60s, they picked their people, and even today, their investment is really up about connecting the people. So when I look at Nigeria, I tell ourselves, there are so many examples that we can pick from. There are environments we can pick from. There are so many, I can tell you, if you want to breed copyright, copy the right thing and try and implement in your own environment. And I think that is really the challenge of Nigeria. So I really do thank you for coming. And I'm with those 2 points while you sit down. To be an entrepreneur, please go with your instincts. So much noise is around. Follow your dream and go at your own pace. Expand your horizon through training and reading. Mix with people of different tribes, nationality, and religion. And family and friends do matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that very packed presentation where you touched on entrepreneurship, also living the professional career as well. Thank you very much. And also, I've always admired people from your school. Yes. Remember, this is a global media event. So yes, you can join the conversation on Twitter. Our handle is @theplatformNG using the hashtag NG Economy. So yes, our Twitter handle is @theplatformNG. You can join the conversation, i.e. tweet, retweet, using the hashtag NG Economy. It's also streaming live on Facebook. So if you have data, you can stream live, or you can let people who aren't here know as well. It's streaming live on Facebook. It's also live on Channels TV. It's an entire broadcast, so we'll be syncing with the panel discussions that are going on. So please just be comfortable, and we'll go on with the rest of the speakers very soon.
Powered by Covenant Christian Center.